Starting January 1st, Social Security payments are increasing, but that doesn't mean everyone will see the change smoothly. Small issues like outdated information or missed updates can delay payments when you need them most. Let's walk through what's changing, who's affected, and what you should check right now. Hi everyone, and welcome back to U.S. Pension Insight. I'm Michael Harris, and today we're talking about an important update confirmed by the Social Security Administration. Beginning January 1st, Social Security payments are increasing for millions of Americans, but with any annual change, there are a few things you need to understand to make sure your payment arrives on time and in the correct amount. This matters because January is a reset month for many households. Rent, utilities, insurance premiums, and medical costs don't wait. And for people living on fixed incomes, even a short delay can cause unnecessary stress. Whether you receive Social Security retirement benefits, SSDI, SSI, or survivor benefits, understanding how these January changes work can help you avoid problems before they happen. Make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe to U.S. Pension Insight so you stay informed. Let's start with what the increase actually is and why it happens every year. Social Security payments are adjusted annually through what's known as a cost of living adjustment, or COLA. The purpose of COLA is to help benefits keep up with inflation so that rising prices for everyday necessities like groceries, utilities, and healthcare don't slowly erode your purchasing power. When inflation rises, COLA tends to be higher. When inflation slows, COLA is usually more modest. Starting January 1st, the new COLA is officially applied to Social Security benefits. That means your January payment, which many people receive in late December or early January, depending on benefit type, will reflect the increased amount. This applies to Social Security retirement benefits, SSDI, survivor benefits, and SSA. It's important to understand that this increase is automatic. You do not need to apply for it. You do not need to fill out paperwork to receive it. If you are eligible for Social Security benefits, the adjustment is built directly into your payment. However, while the increase itself is automatic, there are still situations where payments can be delayed or interrupted, especially around the start of a new year. That's why it's important to take a few proactive steps. Now let's talk about how this increase may look on your actual payment. The COLA is applied as a percentage increase to your existing monthly benefit. That means the dollar amount of the increase depends on how much you already receive. Someone receiving a higher monthly benefit will see a larger dollar increase than someone receiving a smaller benefit, even though the percentage is the same. For example, if you receive an average Social Security retirement benefit, you may see a modest increase that helps cover higher costs, but does not dramatically change your monthly budget. For SSI recipients, the increase affects the federal benefit rate, which is adjusted each year. Some states add their own supplemental payments on top of SSI, and those may or may not change depending on state rules. It's also important to remember that Medicare costs can affect how much of that increase you actually feel. For many beneficiaries, Medicare Part B premiums are deducted directly from Social Security payments. If premiums rise, they can offset part of the COLA increase. This is one reason some people feel like their increase is smaller than expected. Now let's talk about timing, because January payments don't arrive the same way for everyone. For most Social Security retirement, disability, and survivor beneficiaries, January payments follow the regular monthly schedule based on birth date. That means some people will receive their January payment later in the month, even though the increase technically starts on January 1st. The increase is included in the January benefit, regardless of which day in January you receive it. SSI works a little differently. SSI payments are normally issued on the 1st of each month. When the 1st falls on a weekend or federal holiday, the payment is sent early. Depending on how the calendar falls, Some SSI recipients may see their January payment arrive at the end of December. Even in that case, the increased amount is included. This timing difference can cause confusion, especially when people compare deposits with friends or family members. The key thing to remember is that the increase applies to the January benefit, not a specific calendar day. Now let's focus on the act now part of this conversation, because while the increase itself is automatic, delays usually happen for preventable reasons. One of the most common causes of delayed payments is outdated personal information. If your mailing address has changed, your bank account has changed, or your direct deposit information is no longer accurate, payments can be delayed or even returned. The start of a new year is one of the most common times these issues show up. Another common issue is unreported changes that affect eligibility, especially for SSI recipients. SSI is a needs-based program, which means changes in income, living arrangements, or resources can affect payments. If these changes are not reported promptly, payments may be adjusted, delayed, or temporarily stopped while Social Security reviews the information. There are also cases where payments are delayed due to verification reviews, overpayment reviews, or administrative processing at the beginning of the year. These situations are less common, but they do happen, and being proactive can help resolve them faster. So what should you do right now to avoid delays? First, make sure your direct deposit information is correct. Direct deposit is the safest and fastest way to receive Social Security payments. If you're still receiving paper checks, delays are more likely due to mail issues, weather, or holidays. Second, review your personal information with Social Security. Make sure your address, phone number, and banking details are up to date. If you manage benefits for a spouse, parent, or loved one, this step is especially important. Third, if you receive SSI or any needs-based benefit, make sure you've reported any recent changes that could affect eligibility. This includes changes in income, household composition, or living arrangements. Reporting changes early helps prevent sudden payment interruptions later. Fourth, check your benefit notices carefully. Social Security sends annual notices explaining benefit amounts for the new year. These notices show your new payment amount, any deductions, and important reminders. Taking a few minutes to review them can help catch issues before they turn into problems. Now let's talk about expectations, because it's important to be realistic. The January increase is meant to help keep up with rising costs, not to dramatically improve financial situations overnight. For many people, it helps cover higher grocery bills, utility costs, or medical expenses. It's a support mechanism, not a windfall. That's why planning remains important. Knowing when your payment arrives, how much it will be, and what deductions apply allows you to budget more effectively, especially at the beginning of the year. It's also worth noting that Social Security operates on one of the most reliable payment systems in the country. Millions of payments go out every month, and the vast majority arrive exactly as scheduled. When issues do occur, they are usually fixable, even if it takes some patience. If you do experience a delay in January, the first step is to allow a short processing window, especially if your payment date falls around a holiday or weekend. Next, review your payment history through Social Security's official systems to confirm whether the payment was issued. If the payment still hasn't arrived, contacting Social Security directly is the appropriate next step. Now let's talk briefly about who this increase applies to. This January adjustment applies to Social Security retirement beneficiaries, people receiving SSDI, survivor benefit recipients, and SSI beneficiaries. It does not require a new application. It does not depend on age or income beyond the normal eligibility rules of each program. If you are currently receiving benefits, the increase applies to you. For people who plan to apply for Social Security in the future, COLA adjustments also affect benefit calculations over time. While COLA does not change the underlying formula used to calculate benefits, It does increase benefit amounts year over year once benefits begin. Before we wrap up, I want to pause and hear from you. Have you already checked your expected January payment amount? Do you feel confident that your information with Social Security is up to date? Or are you concerned about possible delays this year? Leave a comment and let me know what questions you have. Let's bring everything together. Starting January 1st, Social Security payments are increasing due to the annual cost of living adjustment. The increase is automatic and applies to retirement, disability, survivor, and SSI benefits. While the adjustment itself does not require action, making sure your information is current can help prevent avoidable delays. Payment timing varies by benefit type, but the increased amount is included in the January benefit regardless of when it arrives. The most important takeaway is this: Social Security changes can feel stressful, especially at the start of a new year, but understanding how the system works gives you control. Taking a few simple steps now can help ensure your payments arrive smoothly and on time. Thank you for spending your time with me today on U.S. Pension Insight. If this video helped you, please like it, share it with someone who may need this information, and subscribe so you don't miss future updates. And don't forget to leave a comment below. I read everyone, and they help guide what we cover next. I'm Michael Harris, and I'll see you in the next video.